Hey guys, James Dymond here, and in this episode of Tech Tips, we're going to be looking at the fruity Convolver. I've got two techniques that you can use, and hopefully it will make your production sound better and a little bit more kind of creative, and also save on some CPU. So first of all, we're going to be using the fruity Convolver to sample a third-party reverb plugin to use as your own kind of sample within the fruity Convolver. So rather than using, say, something like the Fruity Reverb 2, which is not bad for smaller instruments, but for those larger kind of hall type sounds, so for example, a main lead, which you want some big kind of reverb on, or some sort of kind of cool effect, which has to have a really large reverb or something quite unique that you can only get from, say, third-party plugins such as ArtsAcoustic's Reverb or Valhalla Supermassive, we can sample the reverb from these plugins and use it through the fruity Convolver. So with the fruity Convolver, you have this impulse, which if you click it, we can hear the actual kind of impulse sound itself. So it's just a little click, and then we're going to turn that into the reverb, which is sampled here. This is the default reverb when you open up fruity Convolver. So we're going to sample the reverb from both ArtsAcoustic's and Valhalla so we can hear what the differences are. So first of all, let's open up ArtsAcoustic's, and I've just got the preset Bright Synth Generic 01, which I really like. I like using this for some of my own kind of main leads, big super swords, sometimes plucks as well, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this episode. So what we need to do is we're going to have our ArtsAcoustic's active, and we're going to have it at 100% wet, no dry. We only want to hear the reverb. And then we've got Edison opened up as well. And I'm just going to move the mixer out of the way. And what we want to do is we want to hit this impulse. And as you can see, because we've got the ArtsAcoustic's after the Convolver, the impulse sound is going through the ArtsAcoustic's and we're only hearing the reverb. So then what we're going to do, we're going to hit record on Edison. You need to make sure that Edison is after your reverb, as we want to record the reverb or the impulse going through the reverb unit. So let's hit record. And then we're going to hit the impulse. And I'll stop the recording. And as you can see here, we've recorded just the reverb from the impulse hit itself. So let's go ahead and just trim this up. We'll get rid of the start, and we go to Tools, Trim Side Noise. Then all we need to do is click and hold on the drag copy sample selection bit here, and we drag it into the fruity Convolver. So now we have the reverb that we've just sampled into the fruity Convolver. We hit the normalize section. And now we have our ArtsAcoustic's reverb sampled into the fruity Convolver. If I just turn off the ArtsAcoustic's reverb and press play, now we have the ArtsAcoustic's reverb within the Convolver. So I've got a pluck MIDI already set up, and I'll just turn off Edison and Convolver. I'm just going to turn on the EQ. And let's just have a quick listen to that. Quite a nice kind of RP stab type pluck. So now we turn on the Convolver, and we're going to be using the reverb from ArtsAcoustic's within the Convolver itself. So that's sounding great already. So that is pretty much the exact same ArtsAcoustic's reverb. So if I just turn on ArtsAcoustic's, and I'll bring up the dry so we can compare the two. So you'll notice the Convolver is a little bit more quiet, so we'll just turn up the wet amount. So there you have it. We've got this Bright Synth Generic preset as a sampled the reverb, and now we've got it within the Convolver. So one step further, we can now play around with the wets, and we can get it to sit how we like. So around about there sounds nice. Now let's go into the EQ section, the equalizer, and we can actually add our EQ onto the fruity Convolver. So So there we go. We've got a really nice EQ curve, which is just taken off some of the highs and some of the lows. And once you've finished doing that, you can then go ahead and you can save your preset. And then we've got our presets. If you right click up here on presets, we've got our own preset saved. So I've got the ArtsAcoustic Bright Synth already saved, and then I've got this Valhalla Supermassive Synth already saved. So I can just simply click onto Valhalla. And that's a really great way of just quickly going through different types of reverb units. So obviously this is just saving the bass kind of preset, or at least the bass kind of sounds, the way that you've actually toggled it on the synth itself. So you may want to come back and toggle more, but more kind of options, feedback and density. You want to change the warp, or on the ArtsAcoustic, you might want to take up some of the decay, and you can probably add some of the echo as well. So you have to really go back and change those yourselves manually, but it's a great way of just setting up your reverb so you can quickly go through different types of reverb synths or plugins to find out which one you like the best. With this Valhalla one, I quite like the kind of cool echo it has on it. So then we can go back in to the equalizer and we can add on our highs and lows. So there we have it, sounding really nice indeed. A very quick way of going through and selecting which reverb unit you'd like to use. You can hear the different in kind of character in the sound that they produce, and a very nice, quick and easy way.
Thanks everyone for watching. We really appreciate all the support from you guys. If you love this video, then smash a like, and if you want to be notified about new videos, hit the subscribe and notification buttons. Peace!